Hello, I'm Chief Warrant Officer 4 Vic Pinion, U.S. Navy, retired, telling some of the sea stories of my naval career. This is some of the plaques that I received during the course of my naval career. Some of my favorite ones, I have a lot of them. The end of tour ones, which were common, they're all packed up in the attic. But this particular one right over here, the bell, was awarded me by the V-2 Division Catapult and Wrestling Gear crew of the USS John F. Kennedy when I transferred to shore duty from the Kennedy in 1985, December 85. That bell is made from a steam piston guide from one of the catapults. It was made by a gentleman in Naples, Italy, as part of trade goods, where we gave him some old cables and stuff and old piston guides and things. So he did stuff like that for us. And the next one is my plank owner plaque when I was a chief aboard the aircraft carrier Ranger, home port at Alameda, California, when we formed the Aviation Boatmates Association. I served as a committee member, one of 5 committee members on the ABMA Formation Committee. And my first task as a committee member was to be the chairman of the emblem and ID card and membership application form committee. I was the chairman of that committee. The other 4 members of the overall committee were committee members of my committee. And this was the emblem, the icon, and it appears on all of our letterheads. It appears like on our plaques and so forth. So I was awarded this for being on that committee and for being a plank holder member, golden plank holder member, meaning I was one of the original members of the Aviation Boatmates Association. And although there were several others that got lower numbers than me, because I designed the membership application form and had 500 copies of it made up aboard the Ranger in the Ranger's print shop, I held the very first ever, anywhere, membership meeting, recruiting meeting of all of the aviation boatmates aboard the Ranger, E5 and above, in Squadron Ready Room number 5. I filled out the very first ABMA membership application form and joined it as a life member at that time. And they later assigned me a life member number L5. And that is my plaque for serving on that committee and being a golden plank holder of the ABMA. This one is the one that was awarded to me, or one of the 2 that was awarded to me when I was designated an Aviation Boatmates Association Living Legend at Pensacola, Florida, at a symposium there. No, I wasn't. I was the 11th AB to be designated a living legend. And Commander Mike Weeks awarded me that particular plaque at that time. This one was given to me by a very close friend of mine, Harold Satch Stafford, who had lost an arm in the water breaks of the USS Oriskany when he was a first-class petty officer. Well, he was medically retired from the Navy, and 1 year later the Naval Air Engineering Center picked him up as a CAFSU rep. He was one of the best CAFSU reps that I ever worked with. We shared an office at Subic Bay ship repair facility in the Philippines. He had this made from a catapult piston guide that he made. I had a whole bunch more things made. And he gave me this along with some candle holders and such. And AVMA wings to pin on my shirt. This one you can't see this one, okay. This plaque is one of my favorites. It was awarded to me by the Naval Air Station Cubic Point, Philippines arresting gear crew. Some of the members of that arresting gear crew had been aboard the USS Midway in V2 Division while I was the maintenance officer aboard the Midway before we were stationed in the Philippines. When I transferred from the Admiral staff, Comfair Westpac, Det QB, to the USS John F. Kennedy, they presented me with this plaque. And although that was a very small crew, it's one of my proudest plaques. This is an old broken catapult grab latch that one of them recovered from the USS Midway that we replaced. And he liked that, so he put it on his plaque, presented it to me. Okay. This plaque was presented to me by the Lakehurst, New Jersey Chief Petty Officers Club at the time that I retired from my naval career in October of 1988. And I was particularly proud for the Chief's mess, although I had been a warrant officer for 13 years. But I had served as a chief for 7 years. And so they still embraced me as a chief. And that makes me proud.